Here's what happens when your line breaks. You have tension to the outside, but to the inside, to make a rudder adjustment inside, you don't have any tension. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is March 1st, it's cold, rainy, East Tennessee day. Down on the lake last weekend, my dual steering line assembly broke on my Hobie. That is the line that runs one rudder handle to the other rudder handle, one on each side. I am going to try to replace that line today. Hang with me, I've got diagrams and I'll walk through the process. Hopefully it'll be pretty easy. The blue line represents the dual steering line assembly. You can see the rudder handles on either side, pulleys to the front. The red and yellow line represent the rudder system going to the back of the kayak. Going back up to the front assembly line. In blue, the line runs from the right rudder handle to a pulley, over to a tensioner pulley, and back to the left rudder handle. The arrows on the diagram point to the approximate location of the pulleys and the handles on the kayak. Access to the handles and removal and reinstallation of the lines. The access is through the hatch in front of the Hobie Pa12 seat. In order to get to the lines, it's the line that hooks this rudder handle to this rudder handle, so they will work in unison when you steer your rudder. Brakes, what happens is they won't work in unison, so they sort of freewheel to the inside. You can still steer. If you want to go right, you have to use this one. If you want to turn left, you have to use this one, turn it to the outside. It's the only way you can steer it if your line breaks. So in order to change that, we need to get inside the kayak. So we'll take this bucket out here. Lay those wires to the side. First thing I got to do is remove those 3 foam blocks that are on the side of the kayak. Looking back in there, you can see that line goes up there and hooks to a little male appendage there with a little loop on the end of that line. I need to take that off, and then it comes right back here and runs through a pulley, which is right there. It runs from the pulley across the kayak to another pulley that's on the tensioner. The tensioner pulley is right there. That's the tensioner pulley. And in order to get this line loose from the right hand handle, you have to let all the tension off that tensioner. You have to have tension in your line, in the old line. If the old line's broke, you don't have to worry about it. So that line's loose. So I've got the line loose from the right hand side of the kayak, from the right hand handle. Now I need to get it loose from the left. I need to take this other white block out. And you should be able to see that line running through this tensioner adjustment here. That's a temporary line, by the way. And it goes back to another pulley right back there. Should be able to see that. And I need to take it off that pulley. So I'm going to try to do that while I got the camera in there. There's the line. And just slip it off that male end. Pull it through that tensioner pulley. That's right there. And that old line is out. And there's the old line there. And when it broke, I made a temporary repair and put that little piece of black line in there. But you can see I tied to the broke end, I just tied a uni knot to that black piece of line, and then I made sure that connecting it to the other side, that it was in the middle of the kayak, and I just used a 150-pound ball bearing swivel to sort of tie those two lines together. But I got a new part, and we'll try to put that in now. So I'm going to try to get this new line back in here if I can. First thing I got to do is get it through this pulley right here, going the right way. Alright, I got it through the pulley. So now I need to run it. Right back there. Need to run it right back there and hook it on that little male appendage right there. Now it's on there. I got it on there. Got it on there. Now it goes through that tensioner pulley. I hope y'all can see that. This loop goes right through the tensioner pulley. Which should be right here. I'm gonna tighten that pulley up a little bit so it's not as floppy. Okay, so I got it through the tensioner pulley. I was able to get both my hands in there, so that helped. I got it through the tensioner pulley. And now I'm going to hook it up right back there on that other little male piece back there. Put the camera down in here where you can see it, hopefully. Alright, I got it hooked around that one. Alright, I got it hooked around that one. Throw the pulley correctly. Now I'm going to tension it up. Okay, so I got it back in there. Got everything hooked up the way it's supposed to be. Everything is run correctly. Everything's run correctly. The steering assembly line was just a hair too long, so on this right hand side I took it apart and tied 4 little knots back there next to the loop in the line to make the line just a hair shorter, and it's working out fine. So here's the right hand side of the boat, here's the left hand side of the boat. Now all I need to do is put the blocks back in there and I'm good to go. So got it all back together, got all the blocks in. Everything should be good to go and working like it should now. Got everything in, both handles working in unison now. A little tension on it. Oh yeah. Tightens it up, everything's moving right. Everything's moving fine, everything's in good shape. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the tension off that line. That way it won't stretch that line out, because I believe that's what happened with the old line, causing it to break. I think it stretched it out and it just wore on it coming through that pulley and probably broke. But not an easy fix, you know, you got to work one-handed. But thankful that I got it fixed, and thankful that now I have a backup line I can carry with me. This one I threw together to make it work temporarily. This is a line that was in it that broke, and how I fixed it temporarily. I took the line that was left, tied it to a 150-pound saltwater swivel, took a piece of black line I had, tied to that section with a uni knot, and put it all back together, and it was working fine. But now I got a spare in case something breaks on the water, so that'll work out pretty good. But hey, I hope that helped you out. I hope you learned a little something. I hope it makes your dual steering line assembly easier to put in. Pretty straightforward, and I was able to reach everything through the little hatch in the front. It's sort of hard to see, but you can feel around and make it work. But hope you enjoyed the video. Hope to see you on the water.